Pamela,
Hi.
Pamela, hello.
Hello.
Well, we've got another half hour here to share information about the Purium cleanse before we begin it and in June. And we want to add a little more information for those who have not, some basics for people who didn't listen last time, but also go on with more information for those who did.
Right. And just so they know, like June and then 4 times a year. So this is coming up for the summer solstice, but I do this 4 times a year now.
All right, Pamela. So let's see. The first thing that comes to mind is how do you think that this cleanse has changed your life since you stopped it? What, in April, did you say? In April, you finished your first cleanse, and how has it? It wasn't just a quick fix, was it, Pamela?
So how has it changed my life since April, the very first time I did the transformation cleanse?
Yes.
I am really surprised because I thought it was going to be like I just want to do it once and that's it, but now I'm really motivated to do it 4 times a year because I would say that I want to get more and more in touch with what my body really needs physically, and emotionally. I mean the whole gamut.
All right. And your intuition, you had said, had it improved as that continued.
My intuition is getting like it's I don't really know how to describe it because I'm having dreams and I'm having intuitive hits like when to call people and when not to do something, but it's just like it's one of those things that's really hard to describe, but I feel like my intuition has really improved since being on this cleanse, and I don't know the limit because it's getting better, and it's like the tip of an iceberg, right? It's like the opposite, like you start here and more information starts to come out and you go deeper and deeper with it.
All right. And so also, would you say this you have a bit of a heightened life experience, it sounds like, in any other aspects you'd like to share?
Say that again.
Okay, sounds like with the intuition improvement, you've also had some other heightened life experiences, other things that have come along since you stopped the cleanse last April. That I'm just trying to say that, some people will do a cleanse for weight loss and
Hmm.
then they get back to their old habits and then, oh well, let's start another cleanse.
Uh-huh.
So I don't want people to think that we're just we're cleanse happy here.
So your question is,
What is the long-term benefits of this cleanse, do you think?
okay, the long-term benefits. Now I'm with you. So the long-term benefits, people might think, well, I did a cleanse and that's it, I'm done with it. But when you do a cleanse like this, they call it a transformation cleanse, and I'm not kidding you, it really will transform your life. So if you're not ready to really transform your life, you might not want to do it right now. Because what I've noticed is I'm so aware of what I put in my body. Like my body, the cells somehow really understand, like if there's one little particle, this one thing I ate after the cleanse, it had soy lecithin in it, and I don't think it was non-GMO, and my body instantly told me this is not what you want to put in your body. Like I didn't get real sick or even sick at all, but I could just tell that that isn't something that my body wants. And you start, if you're anything like me, I started to crave like fresh vegetables. I wanted more of them. Like if I could have a snack after the cleanse, I wouldn't go for some chips, anything out of a bag. I would go cut up an orange pepper or a cucumber on the diagonal just as a snack and just eat that. And that felt like really fresh and good, like exactly what I wanted.
All right, and um, okay. Also, I'm going to continue that question a little bit farther. So today, are chips sounding good to you, or is it the cucumber?
The cucumber sounds
All right.
good to me. The chips,
Okay.
I look at those and they just look like, even now when I see little kids eating chips, I just feel so bad for them because our body will get used to whatever direction we want to take it. So if you want to go down that path with the high fat and salt and sugar, pretty soon your taste buds get hijacked and you want more and more of that. I mean, the food scientists, they go to great strides to try to figure out what will make us want to consume more and more and more of that stuff.
All right. Okay, Pamela, just a moment. All right, so my nose is running, so I can't find a Kleenex. So, all right, so I've got it, Pamela. Um, so we've been on a holding pattern. There's a holding pattern that the food scientists, the unenlightened food scientists, have helped us to stay on, where we stay chomp, 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 same old stuff, consume, consume, consume.
Hmm.
Our lives go on the same frustrations, frustrations. Why isn't it changing? Okay, so we start a cleanse like this. We get off that holding pattern and we get into the possibilities that we this cleanse. I was listening to some information about it. It doesn't only it's low calorie, but it is high nutrition. And explain a little bit about that, Pamela, how that works. How can we have low calories and high nutrition?
Oh, well, that's pretty easy, actually. I mean, you have super nutrient sprouted foods in there. You've got the best spirulina on the planet. David Sandoval actually works directly with organic farmers, and he's sprouting all of this stuff. So if you think, how long would that take me to do in my own life? It would probably take you a long time. So this, I mean, you're just shaking this up and drinking it. It's very minimally processed, so you are putting the powder in this water to drink it. Um, I'm sorry, I wasn't really following your question there.
Okay, that's all right. I know I'm jumping around a bit. Um, I was thinking about cows, and I know we've talked about cows before. Cows spend a lot of their time chewing their grass, their cud, and yet they're these these large creatures. How, they must be low calorie, high nutrition in what they're eating.
Yeah, it is. It's the opposite of the standard American diet, where they get a lot of food and very little nutrients. So if you see people going to a fast food restaurant or even a health food store where the nutrients aren't really that dense in the food that people are eating, we wonder, why am I still hungry? Why do I still want to keep eating? And I can't wait to talk to you, Tamara. We have to do another one of these after you've done the cleanse in a couple of weeks, because it's hard to explain intellectually. Like, David Sandoval is such a genius, really. He's done all this research, and he was trying and trying and trying to explain it to somebody, and they just were not getting on the same path. But then they took their dog in, their dog who had died, and the vet said to them, he said, well, your dog was eating cheap food. And then all of a sudden the guy got it. He goes, oh, I understand. So sometimes in a simpler way, you get the concept of this, that there's so much research packed into it. But for me, once I did it, my body, I trust my body. There's so much research on the internet. There's so many different things that you could Google and try to figure out on your own. But once you get it in your cells, and once you understand how you feel so much differently, it's kind of a mute point, actually, to try to intellectually talk about this so much. You just have to experience it. So let's get on, after you've done the cleanse, because I want to hear your experience too.
Oh, certainly, certainly, I do plan that, Pamela. Can you tell us some of the things about what you're continuing, how you are continuing since the cleanse? Do you take some of the shake
Hmm.
during the day now, the love foods?
I do. Yeah. Actually, I have one of the power shakes right now, and I try to drink at least one of these a day. And then I'll have a salad. Like after my cleanse the first time, I had a little miso soup, and then I'd have some of the Love superfood, and then I'd start to make smoothies. So you kind of, for me, I started to eat more salads and more of the power, because I want to get this nutrient dense food in my system, so I'll have at least one of these a day.
All right, And talk a little bit about the non-GMO aspect of this product.
Yeah, this product, when you really research it, so many people have been approached by Purium, like healthcare professionals, doctors, all these people, and they're like, no, 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 no. And then once they start to look at the ingredients and they really research it, then you start to see the quality that's been put into this product. There's no GMOs at all. There's no fillers. There's no artificial anything. And it's all grown by organic farmers.
I see. And Pamela, I've seen on the internet sometimes they call it the celebrity transformation cleanse. Am I right about that?
Yeah, I haven't really tracked it that much because for me, the transformation cleanse just resonates so much because I felt transformed by it. But apparently, you know, I could be wrong, but it seems like they've worked with a lot of celebrities, like marathoners. There are a lot of people who do celebrity stuff, and they've gotten onto the cleanse. I think David said that he worked with people, and they said, "Okay, I gotta lose, 15 pounds really fast." So then he came up with the nutrient-dense foods that would help them cleanse, not only like losing weight, but you cleanse the cells of your body as well.
I see. Thank you. Now, why don't we talk about the different ingredients in the cleanse regimen? So that last time we did that some, but let's show that listeners that also. Um,
Okay, so would you like to know what's in the Power Shake?
sure.
Okay, it is rice bran solubles, organic activated barley, and that is like the food of the gladiators. It's like super nutrient dense. Organic spirulina, organic carrot powder, organic wheatgrass juice powder, organic oatgrass juice powder, organic alfalfa leaf juice powder. And can I tell you just a little bit about alfalfa when we're
Sure.
done with this? Organic raspberry flavor, organic apple flavor, and low hang gua.
All right. And alfalfa.
Yeah, alfalfa. I grew up on a farm in Minnesota, and when I was a young tot back in the 60s, we always had alfalfa growing. And I remember my dad saying to me, the alfalfa has the longest root, like the tap root on an alfalfa plant goes so far down into the earth, and that's what makes it so strong. Of course, they don't have alfalfa now. You go back in the Midwest, you're from the Midwest, all it is monocrops of corn and soybeans, very little alfalfa, anything like that. But these plants like alfalfa that are so hardy. It's like if we want our bodies to be hardy, we have to be consuming more of those plants that really know how to survive in all kinds of weather conditions.
I see, Pamela. Yes. Now tell us some other ingredients in the cleanse, like you take one scoop, 2 scoops in the morning in your shake, and then what else you do?
Right. Okay. So you take the master aminos in the morning. You take 5 of these at 7 o'clock when you wake up, and then at 9 o'clock you take the power shake, and then 2 hours after that, so your body's constantly getting flooded with nutrients. Then about 11 o'clock you take more of the master amino pattern, and then you take another power shake. I think it's around 2 o'clock, and then master aminos at 4 o'clock, and in between you're taking these ionic elements, and you just take 2 dropperfuls of this in some water, swish it around in your mouth, hold it for about 20 seconds. It will really hydrate you and help your cells to cleanse. And then you take some of the fiber. Like people could either put like a scoop of this in the power shake if they wanted to, or you can just drink it in the shaker glass on its own. It tastes okay to me. And what's in there? There's a whole list of ingredients. I can put them down below in the description when we're done with this so people can see. And then at night, you take the Apothe cherry concentrate, and that's got like 7,000 ORAC, oxygen radical absorbance capacity. I mean, this stuff is loaded. He's been talking about this for 20 years, and now, you see a lot of people jumping on board.
I see. All right. And then there's some flex foods you've mentioned. Is that only when you're hungry, or when do you eat those?
Right. The flex foods you can pretty much have when you want them. I know sometimes if people are, eating with their families, if they have kids, they might have a banana or probably an apple would be better, but an apple, and then you can cut up a cucumber on the side and have that at lunchtime if you want. That's really flexible. That's why they call it flex food. You can have up to 3 of those a day when you feel like you want them. And I've got a lot of different things that I made when I was on the cleanse on a prior video, and I'll post that below as well. So I know we don't have a lot of time today, but if people wanted to watch that 10-day process, I think you saw that, of
Yes.
me going through it. I show people exactly what they're going to expect and some of the flex foods that they can have.
And have you mixed some things together as in a recipe of the flex foods?
Yeah, one of my favorites was I had a watermelon radish. Have you ever had one of those?
Oh yes,
Watermelon
you
radish?
showed that on your video. That was delicious looking.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. Anyway, you can have a watermelon radish, and I have the spiralizer, so I just spiral it up. They're just really fine, super fine noodles, and then I put a half a or a half an avocado on top of that, and it's a fabulous salad, just
And some
fabulous.
tomatoes. Tomato,
What?
I know, I remember how you chopped up that tomato so with that little machine.
Right,
That
right.
was okay. Anyway, that looked delicious. That did. All right. Have we had anyone calling in and asking any questions, Pamela?
Yes, I have had some people, and I really don't have access to that right now. But yeah, I've had different people asking, like, if they can do it while they're working. They can definitely do it while they're working. Like I mentioned before, you could take a little break in the afternoon. That's when it kind of hit me, like I just want a little bit of time to relax and maybe take a nap in the afternoon. So people have asked if they can do it while they're working. Definitely. Um, People have asked, should I be doing this if I don't have any weight to lose? And that's a definite yes. Because even if you don't have any weight to lose, you're still cleansing yourself from all the exhaust, all the, toxins that have been built up. I grew up on a farm, and so, there was all kinds of chemicals being sprayed around that. And so you think, how much of that is still in your system? So you can definitely cleanse even if you are not trying to lose weight, which is actually a pretty small amount of Americans who aren't in that boat. Most people would love to lose 5 or 6 pounds. They just feel better, especially summer's coming up. You want to look good, you want to feel good. So, yeah.
All right. And can you talk a little bit about price? We haven't really said any specifics, I don't believe.
Right. Yeah, we did, I think, last time. Maybe.
I
Yeah.
watched again, and I don't think that we actually said dollars.
Okay. All right. So we can go through that. Let's see here. It is roughly $22 a day. And you can do the retail price, you can do the member price. And if you sign up as a member, you can always cancel anytime. It's kind of like going to Costco where you sign up, but it's roughly $22 a day. Let's see, retail price $220. So for 10 days, that'd be $22 a day. And sometimes people say, wow, that's so expensive. And to me, I'm thinking, you know what? We go through Starbucks or some other coffee place, it can be $5 for just a cup of coffee. And people have said after 5 days, they lose their craving for coffee, which is pretty amazing, and all of the cost that goes into this. So yeah, there's more information on the website on that.
And that's Purium. What is
Yeah.
the website?
And I'll put that below too in the description. It is, if you go to mypurium.com/elemental cuisine, that'll
Okay.
take you right to my link, and I'm, a distributor for this.
All right. Yet you're not making $1 million off this, as we
Not a
talked about
million,
last
no.
time. Okay. Okay. All right. So, let's see. Oh, our group. We're going to be having a Hangouts group, uh, a daily group, right? Or you're shaking your head no.
Well, um, you know what I will definitely commit to when we get a group together is that we will have one call the first day just so we can all connect. For those of the people wanting to connect, we can do that. And then day number 5, we'll get together again. And then the last day on day number 10, just to really celebrate. Sometimes people want to go celebrate with food, but there's so many other ways to really celebrate getting back in touch with your unique DNA. You're off the processed food,
All
you're back
right.
to yourself,
All
and so we'll definitely do that.
right. Okay. Well, and I might just be available for a quick check-in with anyone who's interested because I'm a person who it's very helpful to have a community involved. And when I'm doing things by myself, I don't do as well. So
Hmm.
I'm going to reach out to people and be available just for, we'll talk about it on when the actual cleanse begins. And what is the date again, Pamela?
The date for this one is June 10th. Now that is a Tuesday, and people can start a couple days before, a couple days after. That's fine. What I would suggest, for people, if you are working, maybe you want to start this cleanse on a Saturday, Sunday, because for most people, the second and third days are the most challenging. For me, it wasn't that bad. When I took a nap in the afternoon, I was just fine. But, I really want to encourage people to help themselves succeed. So if you do it on a day when you don't have a lot of activity, when you don't have a lot of, people around and stuff like that, just really help yourself succeed on this. So if you want to start it on a Friday, first day is pretty easy, and then the second, third day, your body's going, wow, I got a lot of toxins to release, and then during the week, you're fine. Or if whatever works for you and your schedule. We're going to start on the 10th. If it's a couple days before or after, that's fine too.
And we realized someone needs to place their order probably today or Monday.
That's true. Purium is growing so fast. They've grown 400% in the last 4 months because it's just word of mouth. People are going, oh man, you gotta try this cleanse. It is amazing. And so, of course, people are calling in wanting this, and it's yeah, they're bombarded down there as a bottom line. They're down in Long Beach, California, and they're just slammed with orders. So I would say if you can get it in today before the end of the month, that would be really excellent. Because why not just, order it now, then you'll have it. You don't have to stress out about not getting it in time. And, everything's guaranteed, money back guarantee. So you can always, 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 they're so good about that. If you're not completely happy, you can send it back. So why not just order it now, you know?
All right, that sounds great. I'm on board. I must say I'm full speed ahead. Let's see. Pamela, have you shared this with your family? Has anyone in your family done the cleanse or are they interested? How is that going?
My mom is interested in it. She's such a good sport. I've done things in the past, and she's always trying to get, a natural thing that's going to make her feel good. And I know other people in my family could use, to lose some weight. But the thing I found is that you really, really gotta love yourself at such a deep level to even dive into something like this. It's so much more than just the food. You have to really have a reason to want to live. You gotta really want that, because otherwise it's way too easy just to go back into the old, follow mainstream, what mainstream is doing. It's just like, hey, all my friends are going to this fish fry, so I'm going to go to the fish fry. So it's a lot more to it than just, hey, you want to lose some weight? You really have to dig down deep into your soul and find the reason that it's important for you to do a cleanse like this.
And also, what's coming up for me is there's going to be some unknowns here. Often or me anyway, I know I like to feel the unknowns with knowns, like something comfortable that I'm used to. And so
Hmm.
this is walking into the unknown and trusting there's going to be a better outcome that's possibly I haven't really experienced before. So
Yeah.
I'm just thinking part of it is trust that it's walking into something new.
hmm And really trusting your intuition and keeping your goal, your eyes focused on the goal. Like when you go into this cleanse, really, it is such a mental journey, right? To keep your mindset going in, why am I doing this? What's on the other side? And to really trust your body to go, I know that if I keep following this path, maybe if I've been eating, some unhealthy foods, I'm going to go through a little bit of a detox, but what's on the other side of that is freedom. What's on the other side of that is I'm going to have so much more energy. I'm going to have better skin. I'm going to sleep better, all of these things. So if you can get through that part, and, like I think it was Wayne Dyer who said that, it's so important to be okay with ambivalence or the unknown, to really be okay in that spot. We've been trained in school. I mean, this goes deep, but to have the right answers. We have to have those right answers and to know exactly. And when we know exactly what the teacher wants, then we're going to get a good grade and then we're going to pass and everything's going to be okay. We're going to get kudos. But to really trust yourself and to go into the unknown, it can be a really fun thing. It can make you feel awake and alive, because when we're so habituated with, we know this, we know what's around the corner, we know what's going to happen when we eat like this. But if you really look at it like, oh my gosh, I have no idea, exactly what might happen. And with that mindset, there's always a doctor on call, and, if you have questions, go ahead and email him, because we want you to be safe. I'm not a doctor. You got to check out all those things with your own doctor. If you have diabetes, check in with your doctor. They might be a little bit like, what's going on here? But when you really know the nutrient level of what you're consuming, I think you're going to feel really okay with it.
Can you talk a little bit about address? So you've got these toxins you're processing that have been stuck in different cells, different muscles, or wherever they're sitting, or liver, or wherever it's been lingering for years. It's coming out. It's coming through, and it's probably going into the bloodstream. And so those toxins are what makes us feel not so good for a little while. So do you agree, Pamela?
Yeah, I do. And what I would do during my last cleanse, I had a dry skin brush. And when it's just, you're just brushing the skin toward your heart. And so that helps the lymphatic system help to release all of those toxins. Drink a lot of water. And yeah.
And those those physical elements that are stuck in there do relate to feelings, as they that's something that people don't really talk about, that it's those things that are those physical things, when they come up, feelings are released at the same time, and if a person
Mhm.
can just move through that, there's wonderful stuff on the other side.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's amazing. Um, Yeah, so you will, like, I think it was day 7 or something like that. All of a sudden, I felt like this well of sadness in that whole top half of my body, and I really didn't know what was going on. It wasn't like, oh, I remember this thing from when I was 11 years old. It was just like, I don't have any idea why I feel all of this sadness coming up. But I did, and I just meditated. I went to sleep, and the next day I woke up and I felt really amazing. So I had to just learn to let those, be okay with those feelings and not push them aside, not sweep them under the rug, but just feel them. Just feel them and allow them to come out. And yeah, so it's emotional cleanse, it's a spiritual cleanse, and it's a physical cleanse. You got the whole gamut going there.
All right, Pamela, and we're helping you get started, and we're helping each other get started. I'm talking about you, the people listening, and we'll be, help with the support. We're not quite sure how much support we're going to be offering, but some. And then there's always the Purium website that there's people will be on call available for any questions or problems.
Oh, definitely. You know, people can email me anytime or call me when they're on the cleanse. I am happy to connect with people. You know, it's almost like you find your tribe and it's like, "Oh man, you want to go on this journey too?" You know, you've tapped into that possibility of what you know can happen for you. And so yeah, it's like I totally want to connect with people who are on the same wavelength with this.
All right, Pamela, I'm so excited about this. I think we're out of time. So let's, when are we getting together next, Pamela? Is it on the 10th or before that?
Yeah, if you want to do another Google Hangout on the 10th, we can definitely do that.
All right, let's do a Google Hangout let's do it this Saturday before the 10th, which will be, I believe, let me look. Saturday before the 10th is the 7th, Pamela. The 7th at 10:30 Pacific
Yeah,
Standard Time.
yeah, I've got some relatives in town
The
that
7th.
week. Why don't we just leave that open, Tamara? And
All
maybe,
right.
you know, we could do it on the 10th when we start, when you and I start, and if people want to hook up, that way you're going to have all your product. You're going to, you know, we're going to see you before and after. So I think that would be really cool.
All right.
Like to see
Terrific.
Tamara, your thoughts about, oh, what's going on? And
All right.
then see how you feel after 10 days. I think that would be really awesome.
All right. Let's do it. Let's say 9 o'clock on the 10th of June, Pacific
Okay,
Standard Time.
sounds good.
All right. Thanks.
Pacific Standard Time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Tamara.
Thanks everyone for listening.
Okay, bye.
Goodbye.